All right, so I'm just fresh off of watching the Game Awards, the morning after, I should say. Just want to start off by saying, holy shit, man, what a show. Was actually very pleasantly surprised. To go in, to say that I had low expectations would probably sounds kind of harsh. But I guess you could say I'm gonna go with optimistically skeptical. Being that most of the shit we already knew was gonna be there, like the big thing like Tomb Raider and Resident Evil 9. Resident Evil 9 being like wow, cool to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna play it, but I've done stated this, expressed my opinion on this so many times already. Where I really think that a lot of these leaks are kind of ruining, you know what I'm saying, games wow factor. Like if they would have just kept that under wraps, with Leon, being an actual playable character and then being like third person and shit, um, I would have been more stoked. While again, it's not going to take away from the game being good or bad, but I just thought, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. Wow, cool to see. It's like all seen that coming. Tomb Raider actually, while in contrast to Resident Evil, while we did know that was going to be there, I don't think anybody seen that shit coming with it. Crystal Dynamics going like doing this full circle. You know what I mean? Going back, from what I thought, if you would have told me they was going to go back to like the core design, uh, style of like gameplay with Tomb Raider and shit, with the even with the just the Lara Croft, the acrobat shit. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have believed you. I'd be like, okay, like that sounds good on paper, but I have to see it. So I was actually pretty stoked to see that shit. It's like a reimagining, retelling of the first game. Um, then we got Catalyst coming the next year after. You know what I'm saying? So like Atlantis, Legends of Atlantis, I think it's called. That's the title card. It's like some pre-game shit. Hopefully it's on Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? So get people like, you know what I mean, more on board with Tomb Raider. I'm actually surprised. Speaking of that, like I'm surprised that Microsoft didn't acquire that studio. I guess Square Enix or I can Core Design. I mean, Crystal Dynamics is under them, but I'm actually pretty surprised that they didn't acquire them. But again, that's they're like kind of like now that I'm saying that out loud, like they're kind of like the Konami and Capcom and shit. Like they're just are not independent, you know what I mean? But like they got their own shit, you know what I'm saying? Like Final Fantasy, like they with the ports, but I thought they would at least sometimes exclusivity shit, you know what I'm saying? But regardless, it's cool to see. Again, I hope it gets like a Game Pass, um, some Game Pass love and shit, so where like people play it more, and for people that like or familiar with the series, you know what I'm saying? Like they get to try it, or people that's like new, like they like the reboots or don't know who Lara Croft is. It's like this is their introduction to that. Super stoked. I'm not even gonna lie, man. Like that shit was probably like the one that like, while people they got like the Star Wars, the Old Republic, that's cool. People, the Star Wars fan is getting they shit, but like Tomb Raider fans and stuff is getting they, like this is like the return to form, you know. Um, as far as like older characters coming back and shit, so that makes up for like the Splinter Cell and you know what I mean, like all the others not being there, at least not yet, maybe the next Game Awards and shit. Fingers, what I'm saying, here's hoping. But yeah, I thought the show was pretty decent. I thought the fucking pacing was excellent. Shout out to Jeff Keighley, man. Um, Holy shit, like what a like if this was like my Oscars, I'm not even gonna lie, like compared to like that shit where it's like, people say, oh, it's rigged and all the other shit circling, you know what I mean, where it's like everybody kind of knows, where even if this was the same for like the Game Awards, at least like everything else circle like that wasn't like in competition with each other, was actually like worthy of like being a contender, you know what I mean, like the IEs, the Indiana Jones, the Death Strandings and shit. It's like everything was pretty like solid, you know what I mean? It was really fire, the games. Some of them I didn't play, you know what I mean, like Hades 2 and shit, but like I'm familiar with the first one and shit that like got what it the best action game and shit. um while not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not bummed, you feel me, like I'm not looking at it like, oh shit, like damn, like why didn't Indiana Jones, like South of Midnight got some love that I really fucking loved playing and shit that I fairly enjoyed. It's coming to PlayStation, and I think Nintendo or PC and too, later down the line next year, which is great, so more people can experience that. Um, that game is fucking fire, bro. Definitely was one of my favorite Game Pass and just favorite games of 2025, just in general. Definitely top five. But everything else like circulating the show was great, man. I thought like I said, the pacing was good. There was never a moment where it's like my eyes, you know what I'm saying, diverted from the screen where I'm like, oh man, like this is just like a snooze fest. Like even like everything, like the marketing and shit, like with the other games, like the Battlefield Red Sex, you know, what how they try to play on the word and shit like that. That was great with the animated short that he did, the commercials with Maximilian, and you know what I mean, and I forget this dude's name, the one streamer. I follow him on Twitch, but that was great. You know what I mean, with the comedian effect with Lady Dimitris and shit, the lady that voices her. The set pieces, you know, in between like the games and shit, or to advertise the game, like the Divinity Original Sin, which I thought was The Witcher. I don't know if anybody else thought it. And I'm like, holy shit, we're getting another like Witcher 4. Maybe we're getting a remake or something. I don't know. But I'm like, this looks like something out of The Witcher. It looked fire regardless. I'm not familiar with those games, but that intro was like, holy shit, like eat your heart out, Diablo. Like that shit, holy fuck. That's how you do a cinematic, you know, opening to a game or a teaser. Some people that did Baldur's Gate, which is really well received. Yeah. Again, I thought everything else surrounding that, the musicals, you know what I mean? While I didn't overstay as welcome, I'm not a big musical guy, but like they weren't like terrible, you know what I'm saying? Unbearable. The Muppet shit is always good to see, you know. Excuse me. I like the chemistry, you know what I'm saying? Again, like shout out Jeff Keighley, man. Holy shit for making that all happen, you know? Like I was never like against the dude, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely have a bigger respect for him. You know what I mean? We're seeing that in real time. You know what I mean? Like that takes a lot of effort. You know what I mean? To be that poised and that you know, can't miss a beat. You got to keep up with these motherfuckers and shit. You know what I mean? Everybody going on stage and presenting all these awards and shit. Like really dope. Also that heartfelt tribute that he did in the beginning of the show was actually really decent too. I really like that. Damn, RP to that man, his pops, man. Yeah, 2025, man. It was a fucking doozy when it came to like, you know what I'm saying, losing loved ones, man. Like, believe me, holy shit, dog. But yeah, yeah, that was cool that, you know, that he paid tribute. You know what I'm saying, and that message that he had, like as far as like the community and gaming and how it brings people together and shit. I thought it was really dope, man. There was a lot of them, not just him. There was a lot of people that were the lady that won Best Actress. Don't quote me on that. I believe that's what the category was that I want for Claire Expedition 33. That was really fucking dope. What she said, you know, really dope. That was some powerful shit. Yeah, and I could see Jeff Keighley, he kind of like was floored by that too. Like, holy, like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was really, you know what I'm saying? That was some deep shit, you know what I'm saying? How she like shed the light on like, I had to look that shit up. I didn't even know what the fuck neurodivergent meant, you know what I'm saying? But like when she said like, you know, when I looked at, I'm like, oh damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that can relate to that or have family members or have, you know what I'm saying, that I know I do, you know what I'm saying, but like it definitely, I guess, you know, make you feel, not that I, you know, ever was ashamed about it, you know what I mean? But it definitely gave people a voice who felt like, you know what I mean, they don't have a voice, like to, you know what I'm saying, like to feel seen and stuff, you know what I mean? I don't know, I can't articulate it, and I couldn't, you know, it spoke for itself, the message, you know, I can't say it any better than she did, you know what I'm saying? It was that good. But yeah, it was really dope to see them win big, you know, and take it home and shit. People that say it is rare, just like, man, like even if it fucking was, bro, it's like just enjoy the fucking ride, man. Like all the other games like this year, excuse me, damn, what the fuck is that? Hold on, let me drink some of this water. I don't even have. Damn, oh, is it gone? Holy, oh, I drunk it. Um, but yeah, all the other games that went up against each other, like the competition or the other contenders, I guess you could say, they were pretty solid, bro. um, and then every category was pretty, what I'm saying, was broad enough to where a lot of other games, like at least for me, was satisfied. To, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like games, that they got some shine. You know what I'm saying? Like South of Midnight, even though it didn't probably just because it didn't win best art direction or whatever, it's got best. I honestly forget what it was, but it was just cool to see them have a presence on stage too. That was like I was pretty happy to see them go up on stage and like win something because that game is fucking awesome. Battlefield 6 best audio, which hell yeah, you know what I'm saying. Doom, you know what I'm saying, even between that or Doom, but yeah, Battlefield 6 definitely deserves that. Excuse me. And a lot of good shit, you know what I'm saying, as far as like some games that I was surprised to see there. Bro, that new Control 2 game looks pretty fucking, I'm like, what the fuck, like this is some Souls shit now, like that's some Souls born kind of thing going on, which is dope. Super excited to play that shit. And how that, I don't even know if was that Alan Wake or is that in like a new character or something. Yeah, that whole universe, that look like some like Inception shit. Can't wait for that to come. I think was that 2026 or 2027. It looks pretty deep in development. Speaking of games that are deep in development, that Dragon Games of Dragon looks fucking awesome. That shit remind me is I don't know if y'all remember this tech demo a while back, 8 Days. That shit, it kind of looked like that. I don't know if that was in engine or were just like not. I wasn't paying attention, but I'm like, this looks fucking great. Like the character models, the choreography and shit. I'm like, this is holy shit. Another Yakuza game, and then I thought it was, and then it was like another. I think it was like some other studio that I never heard of, but that looks good. That might be like a PlayStation 6 game, next gen game. Hardly that we're gonna get that for PS, or we might, for like ports and shit. But that looked dope. The Forest 3 looked pretty fucking dope. I didn't even know what that was. There was a lot of shit where I'm just like, oh, like I wouldn't expect that. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to see a lot of games like go like a whole nother direction. Like going back to what I said with Control, that looked like some like Housemarque shit. You know what I'm saying? Now they do say imitation is the best form of flattery, at least if it's done right. But that looked like, you know what I'm saying, the best imitate, you know what I mean? A form of flat, like that's how you do it, you know what I mean? If you were to imitate something, you look like everything, like the the best things of like a Bloodborne, Soulsborne game, and like what Housemarque did with Returnal and shit, as well as like Soros was, even though Soros had a presence there too. That looks fucking dope. It looks like it's going like deeper into the whole like story driven shit. They got that nigga Raul, the Australian Indian man. Good actor. I honestly haven't seen him in anything. I've seen him in I used to watch this shit. Shout out to the people that used to as well, if y'all remember Funhouse and shit. That shit was funny as hell. Watching that growing up for me. Well, you know what I'm saying? When I say growing up, I mean like high school and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then like out of high school, I used to love that shit. Used to watch that shit faithfully, bro. But he'll come on there a couple times. I think he played in like this zombie show at the time. Don't quote me on it. But they were like friends and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like the Elise Williams and the James Williams, his wife and her husband and shit. So I'm like, okay, like that's dope. That they have like this connection with like actors and stuff, but the fact that he's even in games, like that's gonna open him up to like a whole new like world, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully it continues that. Again, don't quote me, he probably is very much in like has a presence, and you know what I'm saying, again, but that was how I knew him. I'm like, okay, like this is Raul from fucking Funhouse and shit, which is great, you know what I'm saying? Like he's funny, you know what I'm saying? But him being in Soros, like I'm interested to see how that shit's gonna look, you know what I'm saying? I'm digging the whole like Hindu mythology shit in the the aesthetic with the golds and blacks and stuff like that. And now that it has like an actual story, not that Returnal didn't have a story, but it was very live, die, repeat. You know what I'm saying? Gameplay focused. They actually have cutscenes and this shit now, which is dope. And his acting seems pretty fucking good. You know what I'm saying? For what we've seen in that teaser. What else was there? There was a couple things. I think I don't know if I mentioned it or failed to mention it already. But Tomb Raider. While we known, see, this is why I went into this with like, again, not optimistic skepticism. You were just like, okay, like we know Resident Evil 9 is gonna be there because of the fucking leaks. What, you know what I'm saying? That what sucks, because I think that would have blew everybody's minds. It would have been, just the wow. I remember I have a video. I said this on Wax a couple times before that too, where I generally feel like that shit is like, I don't want to say killing the industry, but just kind of like, okay, like come on, man, like. That, like, leave it for the people that's actually want to be. It's like we look at this shit like Christmas, you know what I mean? Like it just ruins the idea. But again, you're just in it, if you're just in it for the ride or just for the sake of, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna take away. I should say this. It's not gonna take away from me enjoying the game. All I'm saying is I would have liked it if I didn't know that Leon was in there. I would have wanted to see that at the Game Awards. The reveal with that, and then there was third person. Like I would have lost my shit. That I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So that was at least cool enough to see. But I heard, like, even before that, like a couple weeks or a month before that, Leon was gonna be in the game, and I'm like, come on, man, like that's fucking, like y'all could have kept that shit. Why y'all had to, let that cat out of the bag? Like that's some major shit. I ain't no fucking hey, that'll be dope. You know what I'm saying? Like you getting a trail, or just like I said at the Game Awards, and then seeing that for the first time, like how much buzz that shit would get. There's probably other games I'm missing. I'm gonna go off of that. Resident Evil 9 looks fucking great. Hopefully we get to see some Ethan Winters in that shit too, like some, like, that'll be tough. That'll be super tough. And Chris Redfield. But yeah, there's other shit that I'm missing, and it's not to say, again, I'm coming from what I thought that was exciting, like Star Wars, that's cool, like I have it via Xbox backwards compat. I never played all the Mass Effects, but like that's great that people get to have that, it was cool to hear the crowd reaction, like that always gets me pumped, like hearing other people get excited for other shit. For me, I guess the most exciting thing will be probably Tomb Raider. Even though, in contrast to Resident Evil 9, which we all knew was going to be there, being that, it was on the description, like it had a presence, but also the Leon shit, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, like we're just going to wait to see him. We're just going to enjoy the trailer. Tomb Raider, while we knew that was going to be there, I don't think anybody expected that shit to happen with, them going back to like the return to form core design, aesthetic, what they did. But like, it's a remake, you know what I'm saying? It's literally core designs built, the foundation they built. So that's fucking great. What this called? Like the tagline is Legends of Atlantis or some shit like that, which is cool. It has the logo, the original trademark from like the old Tomb Raider games and the movies with Angelina Jolie and shit, and I'm like, bro, like holy shit, like they really know they bringing that back. The character model looks fucking dope and shit. I see some comments on crazy shit how they say niggas said in the comments, oh, she needs a bigger set of cans, but this looks dope. And I'm like, nigga. But shit, I don't know. Wait till it's on PC and your wish will be fulfilled, I guess. Well, more likely than not, you know what I'm saying, with these mods and shit. But yeah, it looks great. The dual wielding, the backflips and shit like that. I'm like, okay, like hopefully it's an Xbox Game Pass Day One. I'm gonna play it regardless, but it would be dope for like people that that hasn't, you know what I'm saying, like played the game before, you know what I'm saying, or just people that people that haven't played the game, like that's how they'll be introduced, and they can try it on Game Pass, and then maybe play the other games and shit too, go back. But it's good for the hardcore players, you know what I mean, that grew up on the PlayStation 1 and shit, so it's like the best of both worlds. But I think that would be like the perfect Game Pass game, Day One game. The Atlantis one, Catalyst, is 2027. That's a little ways off. But But hopefully that'll you know what I'm saying, maybe the same for that too. But I can definitely be in there. That's like the biggest, you know what I mean? Like they said it's gonna be big and mountains was moving and shit. It's probably gonna be open world. This bitch is Batman and shit. She got a zip line and all that. You know, it looks dope. I don't know. That might be like its own thing or a retelling of like the old games. I don't know what Catalyst means, but from what I played, like the games that like had that tagline and shit, like you know, it was always like some, you know what I'm saying? To me, I get Mirror's Edge Assassin's Creed shit. You know what I'm saying? With the fucking Animus, what they call that shit when Desmond was going into that shit. I don't know. I don't even know what Catalyst means. I gotta look that shit up. But that's what I'm getting when I heard that tagline. I'm like, okay, like this is like some new age, you know, y'all bringing back the old and putting in the new, which I think is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like we done that game has been, well, at least the old ones, like the dormant, you know, the old core design games, like they've been to sleep for like years. You know what I mean? Like nobody, not saying that they're not like good. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it would make or break or hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people never, you know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, the people like now, like they're all, you know what I'm saying? If not my age, they probably even played it or younger. You know what I'm saying? That don't even know what the fuck that is. You know what I'm saying? Tomb Raider. You know what I'm saying? At least the core design ones. Now it's like Uncharted and shit. You know what I mean? Like that's, you know, and now Indiana Jones, even though that's where they all get it from. Like that's indie. Plus they have a fucking franchise with the movies and shit. But you know what I mean? Like Uncharted would be the one that would be like, okay, like somebody will hear that like that's younger than me or my age would be like, oh yeah, I know what that is. But Tomb Raider they're not all the way familiar with. So yeah, I'm interested to see what that was gonna be like. Tomb Raider Catalyst, but Atlantis, that's cool. We get to get a little pregame before that shit. In 2026, hopefully sooner than later. It looks pretty well off, like it was in development. I don't know what date. I have to go back and see the trailer to see, but that was like probably like the standout for me. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, holy shit, like I knew y'all niggas was gonna be here, but I didn't think, you know what I'm saying, y'all was gonna do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is that's dope. If something can, you know what I mean, can blow your expectations like that, you know what I'm saying? That goes to show you like the power, you know what I'm saying, a game has. Yeah, everybody's crowd reactions was pretty like holy shit. With that, I think that was like the standout, like them three Trinity, you know what I'm saying, between Star Wars, Resident Evil, and that was like, oh fuck, you know what I'm saying. Now next year we just need Sam Fisher to come back and Max Payne, you know what I'm saying. Hopefully the next Game Awards. Fingers crossed we don't get leaked fucking 3 to 6 months before that shit, you know what I mean, so we can, you know, be surprised actually for once. What else? I think I covered everything that I was excited for. There was a couple of like indie shits, you know what I mean, that I was really excited about. That looked good. I don't even to call that indie. I'm not sure, but I think the best way to describe it is like people just going on to do their own things, like that Badger game. That's very like I was getting Revenge of the Planet, Savage Planet vibes. It's a Game Pass game, like very like anti-corporal, you know what I'm saying, kind of poking fun at you know, the gaming industries and shit. Like I think it was the writers of Red Dead, or the people that worked on it, and I'm sure, don't quote me on it, because there was a couple of those kind of you know, before, like when they'll present the game, they'll say like, oh, these are the people that made this game and this game. Like everybody's doing like their own independent shit now. They're in their own studios, as well as like Dan Houser and shit, which is surprising. It was just surprising to see that nigga at all. You know what I'm saying? It's cool that he's like has more like a public appearance now. I'm pretty sure he's doing it because it's like he's getting ready to you know what I mean? I've heard like he's still doing this thing, but like I didn't know that. You know what I mean? Like it was cool to see Jeff Keighley talk about that and shed light. You know what I'm saying? Like he's writing like comic books. He's a fucking legend. You know what I'm saying? You watching his B-roll and shit. You know what I'm saying? He written this game, Red Dead, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that Rockstar solidified, Rockstar. This nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like he writ that shit. You know what I'm saying? The guy's a fucking Rockstar. No pun intended. Like for real, or pun intended. Literally pun intended. Actually pun intended. But yeah, he's dope as fuck. as far as writing. Definitely one of the best. You know what I'm saying? You put him, you know what I'm saying? I put him in the category with like the Hideo Kojimas, and you know what I'm saying? Not to say everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of great writers out there, you know what I'm saying? But like for me, you know what I'm saying, that's the dude that was kind of like, you know, Quentin Tarantino was the dude that like maybe want to like get into film. Dan Houser's the one that like, oh shit, like this is like, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of like in the same kin as far as like he's a I love he loves the culture, you know what I'm saying? The best of both were movies and video games, you know what I'm saying? Quentin Tarantino's him just was movies, but Dan Houser's more like, you know what I'm saying, games and movies and shit. So I thought that was dope to just see him have a presence, just in general and shit, and do his own thing and still, you know what I mean, kicking and, you know, as well as, you know, reaping the fruits of his labor and shit, you know. Oh yeah, I was going on to say the Honey Badger game, which looks fucking good with the Badger being voiced by Chris Evans. I thought that was great. Hopefully, I hope during the end of the cutscene they show like that live. I hope that's actually in the game, bro. I hope to God like that's actually like playable and it's like interactive and shit. That looks fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? Again, very tongue in cheek, very like anti-corporal, like, you know what I mean, like, you know, political, like, you know, pitchfork up the politician ass shit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of steez they kind of put into it. But like with the game industry, like I mentioned before, like poking fun at the just gaming and all the you know, I seen some like a clip where it was like a building saying like a unfinished game, like something unfinished reviews or something. It's cool. They got some RPG maker elements into it. It looks dope, very innovative. The mission, they got like the last Badger, like it looks dope, man. Some Ready Player One shit, you know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I don't know how far off that is, but you know, it was that I was shocked to see too. That's gonna be a really good one. Really funny. I hope it's rated N, like at rated M or like a hard T. You know what I'm saying? Like they do some like you know, I mean, if this the fucking writers of, you know what I'm saying, some of the writers of Naughty Dog. You're starting to feel hungry. Oh shit. Me too. In real life, I ain't even eat breakfast. It's early in the morning. I ain't wash my ass. That's, you know, I digress. That's TMI. But yeah, it's early as hell. But I had to get this out. You know what I'm saying? While it's fresh in my mind. I'm gonna keep yapping though about it. I'm pretty sure that's everything, at least that I was excited for. I hope if I get back to it, knowing my ADHD ass, I'll probably go, you know what I'm saying, I'll be jump to top it and then go back to that. But I'm gonna try to be as cohesive and clear, you know what I'm saying, as possible. But I think I'm doing pretty good with like not derailing and shit. I have another topic too that I want to get. I might splice it up. I'm just gonna just let it rock and just have it like a whole, like, you know what I'm saying, just keep it like how it is. I hope I'm fucking recording. I am. I'm 28 minutes in. Holy shit. I thought it was like 50. Bro, I can talk, nigga. My mouth going 50 miles per hour, dog. I thought it was longer than that. All right, nigga. Damn. I'm losing fat and shit. Burning calories. Starving. This nigga fasting. But yeah, I think that's I'm trying to think because I don't want to leave out anything else. But just to, you know, all in all, like, just for an overview, man, like, pretty solid, man. Definitely like a 9.5 out of 10, man. Again, and it's not even just a gripe. It's just more like my taste. Like, that's why I'm a fan of the Xbox showcases, you know what I'm saying? Like, a big fan, because it's like they always do that. Oh, you can play it right now and shit, you know what I'm saying? Or available. I mean, while there was one for, like, Pragmata, I'm definitely going to be checking that out later today, or sometime this week. I would want more of that, you know what I'm saying? But that's not even like a complaint. Like, you know, I was just in it for like, if again, like compared to the Oscars, like this is probably like the best shit, you know what I'm saying? They, you know, was ever done, you know what I'm saying? The Oscars ever done in like recent memory. Like this shit was dope. They had the Muppets on there. Like it was just very entertaining, you know what I mean? Like just nonstop, like, you know. And again, like the animated, I hope if I didn't mention it before, hopefully I did. I mean, hopefully I didn't. But I'm gonna say it again just in case I forgot to leave that out or something, or fail to leave that out. the Battlefield shit, you know what I'm saying? Like the animated short between that, like all the whole marketing shit, you know what I'm saying? The commercial with Resident Evil and shit with the discount store and shit, you know what I mean? With the lady that voiced Lady Dimitrescu, as well as, you know, they had Maximilian and this one streamer, I cannot pronounce his name. I think his name is Bach Soup or some shit. He's pretty fucking hilarious. I follow him on stream on Twitch. Yeah, he's pretty chill. He's funny as hell. Maximilian, he's dope as hell too. It was cool. That was pretty you know, got a good laugh out of that and shit. Like it was a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Like the filler didn't feel like filler. You know what I'm saying? The commercials were just like the ads for like Game Pass was pretty dope. I'm starting to see that shit too more and more. Like just even before, like when I was clicking on like you click on a vid, like the wait time, you know what I'm saying, getting in, you know what I'm saying, before the Game Awards popped up, but the Game Awards started, like just the ads, like with the marketing teams, with the fucking you know what I'm saying, just PlayStation and shit, very, you know what I'm saying, felt very nostalgic, you know what I'm saying, but fresh, you know what I mean. That's what the best way I can, like, I can't, if that's the best way I can articulate it, like, wow, it just brought this like sense of like freshness and newness, but also like kind of feeling low-key like nostalgic with it, you know what I mean. I'm like, damn, like I feel like I'm like transported in time, you know what I mean. I think Battlefield set the intention for that shit with the commercial they did, you know what I'm saying, this and Call of Duty, because now I'm starting to see that more and more, you know, with the ads and the marketing behind that shit. So that's fucking dope. I love to see it. Hopefully they keep that up, that momentum, because that's what, again, like I feel like holds people's attention, you know what I'm saying? And it's the monkey mind, you know what I mean? Like people, you know, you got to get people to not turn their heads away and shit, you know. Again, going back to what I was saying with like the Definity, you know what I'm saying, just to attest to what I was saying, like with the Definity Original Sin, like while I never played those games, like that cinematic was dope, you know what I'm saying? Everything circulating around it with the little set piece that he had, you know, leading up to the trailer was dope, you know what I'm saying? Like we need more of that shit. I'm losing mad fat. Holy shit. But yeah, that's dope. That's dope to see. But yeah, so I'm gonna jump on to this next topic that I had. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay on it, you know what I'm saying? But the I'm gonna try to fit the title of, you know what I'm saying, hopefully the characters, the letters, I can fit them all and shit. I'm gonna try to condense it, but I'm gonna make the next topic what I'm talking about now with the Netflix Warner Brothers acquisition. I'm not against it. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm not a logistics guy. That's what I'm gonna just reiterate. We're gonna start off with that. I'm not a logistics guy. I'm not a fucking, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, crunching numbers type of nigga. Like I'm more into the okay, like I'm a gamer. You know what I'm saying? Like the protect. You know what I'm saying? When I hear the act, you know what I'm saying, that when they bought that, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I want, you know, first I sat back and I just like I'll watch. You know what I'm saying? Like what other people say. You know what I'm saying? Just from the social ad, that's just how my mind works, you know what I'm saying? I like to see what the herd, you know what I mean? Like everybody, how they collectively just all just, you know, you know, oh, everything's a monopoly and all this other shit. Like me, like where I'm like, should I be mad? Like, why is everybody mad? Like it made me feel like I should be mad or some shit, but I'm like, nah, like, and the reason why, you know, I'm not against it, again, like I said, like I'm coming from this from a perspective of a gamer. You know what I'm saying? When I'm thinking Warner Brothers, I'm thinking Warner Brothers as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure. I don't know anything about shareholders or different like, you know what I mean? But I take it, okay, like that's everything. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole rights to, you know what I'm saying, the games, all that shit. And then I think Netflix, to where, you know what I'm saying, like while they again, I guess a monopoly or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like again, I don't know how to spell that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what the fuck that means. But I know that they did this fucking, you know what I'm saying? Then they don't shy away from doing the video game shit with like Castlevania and Devil May Cry. I'm like, holy shit, like wait, hold on guys, like let them cook. Like we probably could get a Shadow Mordor adaptation. We can probably get a fucking imagine a Condemned Criminal Origins TV adaptation, live action or animated. That would be great. I remember a couple years back when I was walking in the GameStop when I was a kid and shit, picking out a game. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For my mom to buy when I was a kid. I saw the case for, you know what I'm saying? Me, I was always in the movies, but I saw the I think Bloodshot. I mean, excuse me. What was the Condemned 2 Bloodshot. Don't quote me on it on the tagline of this shit. But looking at the cover art, very like it like pulled you in, and I'm like, my mind, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is this a video game or like fucking some promo to some David Fincher movie? David Fincher movie? Like, what is this shit? You know what I'm saying? It looked like something out of Seven or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I played the demo and it was scary as shit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like a David Fincher. Like, you kind of had the same vibe with the gritty aesthetic and shit like that. If anything, the first one is more like a David Fincher film. Like, I don't think they're hiding. It's very like inspired by this shit. Very like I think around the same time I watched that movie. I don't know if y'all remember The Collector. That was a very David Fincher-esque kind of like movie too, which I thought was great. That intro with the fucking EDM, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I mean, mind you, I'm a kid. Like, I don't do drugs, none of that shit. But I mean, I remember I'm like, I never took ecstasy, but whatever the fuck that feels like, this is, I get, you know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like I'm sweating and shit. You know what I'm saying? It felt like I was in a fucking rave and shit. Like, somebody like slipped me something and shit like that. Like, I'm like, bro, what is this music? It was very fucking, like, pulls you in. Get your, like, heart racing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Go check it out. That movie was really, 1 and 2. 2 kind of goes, like, off the rails a little bit. Kind of like just straight up like Soul, you know what I'm saying? Like some James Wan shit. But the first one was very like grounded. It felt like oh shit, like this can actually happen, and the premise was actually dope. But I digress. But I remember seeing I'm tying it into like when I saw this game case at the GameStop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fresh off of, I already knew what Seven was, and I was familiar with the girl with the dragon tattoos and shit like that. Yeah, I watched a lot of shit, bro. As a kid, again, parental advisory, but you know, that's why I was always just into this shit. You know what I'm saying? Movies and games. So, you know what I'm saying? Because at an early age, I was like, you know what I'm saying, watching a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? When it came to like movies. But when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this, like, I'm kind of getting like collector vibes from this shit. And then I played the demo and all that, and I'm like, holy shit, like that was like my reference point. You know, so I'm saying that to say this, like the acquisition, like holy shit, like games that were like dormant or just maybe like hasn't seen the light of day in like years, maybe this can be like potentially like a gateway, you know what I'm saying, a Pandora's box, if you will, like being open to other shit being like granted, Devil May Cry 6 is probably already, if not in development, definitely going to be made, you know what I'm saying, like that's just inevitable, you know what I'm saying, at this point. But a new Condemned video game, like I think, you know what I'm saying, while I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be profitable, you know what I'm saying, now, you know what I'm saying, just doing it, but like, you know, now knowing that, you know, everybody's focused, you know what I'm saying, with these big corporations, like, oh, like, you know, they want to set it in public record, like, you know, we just don't think it's probably, we're just going to focus on the core, you know what I'm saying, what we have, like, between Harry Potter, you know, the Lord of the Rings, you know, Batman and shit. Well, that's great. But there's so many other shit that they're sitting on, you know what I'm saying, like, as I mentioned, like the Condemned, where it's like, dude, like they can do some shit like that. You know, they don't even need, you know what I'm saying, maybe you'll get the dads back out of retirement. Don't quote me, I think Monolith, I know they did it with Shadow Mortar. Monolith Studios had like a you know, work, that was like the developer with that and shit, right? Same with, again, don't quote me, with the Condemned as well. That was also Monolith Studios. But shit, I'll probably pull them niggas back out of retirement, give them jobs, give them, you know what I'm saying, some kind of art direction where they go. Shit, hell, I'll probably even get David Fincher. Like, I'm mentioning David Fincher. David Fincher, like, it's not like he hasn't written shit, you know, Love, Death, and Robots, as well as that one animated anthology shit we did with, you know what I'm saying, that was very underwhelming, you know what I'm saying, being that it had a shorter runtime than Love, Death, and Robots. I forget what it's called, but it was very forgettable and very disappointing because I wanted more. But it probably just cost so much shit. What was that called? Anyways, it doesn't matter. But shit, and David Fincher might be like, okay, like, you know, like, I might even hop on this shit or write it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the perspective I'm looking at. I'm looking at it from a perspective like, okay, like this can be a time to like rejuvenate and breathe life into things that, which, you know what I'm saying, like just never saw the light of day. Again, another story. I remember being a kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like probably like '05, '06. My GameCube and shit, like I'm playing, nigga didn't even have a memory card, bro. Like I'm playing, that's when games were like 10-hour to 6-hour experiences, you know what I'm saying? You can play a game and just beat it or get far and just do it over. And I was humble with the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like that for a little bit. I did buy it eventually, a memory card, when RE4 came out later that year, in 2005, on the GameCube. But I was playing Tom Clancy's Chaos Theory. I don't know if that was all the same time frame. I'm probably just jumping up, but it's just for the sake of purpose, just bear with me. I'm not sure if that game came out before that, but I'm pretty sure that came out before Resident Evil 4. But again, bear with me. But I remember watching when I was playing the game, like they had these bonus features and shit, you know, with you know, different kind of like behind the scenes or like how the game was made, you know, like a lot of games would do on the PS2. You know what I'm saying? Like the developers, you know, say you get to know them and shit, you know. That's a lost art, you know what I'm saying? Now they don't have that shit. That'll be dope. I'll be down for games to do that now, you know what I'm saying? Like some behind the scenes shit where you get to see like put a name to a face and shit. Now it's just the credits and then the game is done. You know what I'm saying? Jack and Dexter did it, the old Uncharted did it, you know what I'm saying? That would be cool if we get more of that. I mean, that's a whole nother thing, topic. But yeah, one of those bonus features in that disc, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, there was a teaser for the movie, glass shattering, psst, you know what I'm saying, Splinter Cell, the movie coming soon. You're like, holy fuck, like what? Like me being a kid, like I already liked the game, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'll be totally down to see like a movie like this. Never seen a light of day, you know what I'm saying? Again, we got Death Watch, you know what I'm saying, the adaptation, that's good for what it is, you know what I'm saying. We got Without Remorse, that no, I'll not Splinter Cell in the universe of like Tom Clancy's and shit. So it's like the potential, you know what I'm saying, like the doors is open, you know what I'm saying. It's not like things like between live action and animated, you know what I'm saying, anime, it's not, you know what I mean, like it exists, you know what I'm saying. It's just into the hands of the people that's willing to make it, and you know, and shit. But it's great, you know what I'm saying. Like again, like it's just great that at least that, you know, it has some kind of like presence still, even though, you know, like it didn't all go to waste. But going back to the acquisition, like that just goes to show you that it's like, okay, like stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, like a Shadow of Mordor, like things that, you know, may, you know what I'm saying, maybe have been, you know, without, you know, might be dead, you know what I'm saying, if it weren't for Netflix buying them, you know what I'm saying, might have the potential of getting an adaptation and maybe getting another new game, you know what I'm saying. It's like it's like I'm trying to think of an analogy, not a cog in a wheel, but like it's all like that, you know what I mean, like just some bottle tree shit. I don't know where the fuck I'm going with that analogy, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like it all connects. Like if this, okay, it's like for them, like if I'm an executive, like okay, like this is doing good, you know what I'm saying, like if this is profitable, like if in the world or the universe where this actually exists, you know what I'm saying, like a Shadow Mordor show, oh y'all like this, okay, here's a couple seasons, you know what I'm saying, same with like Devil May Cry, even though I'm pretty sure they already kind of written that, you know what I'm saying, that was already written into like the plan, like for the future and shit. But it wouldn't have seen the light of day if it did good, if it didn't do good in that first season. So, you know, like a Shadow of Mordor, you know what I'm saying? Or it don't have to be that. It could just be set in that universe or whatever. Okay, it gets greenlit for a couple seasons, you know what I'm saying? Because the first season is really good. Maybe some spin-offs and shit. People are interested now. They're, you know what I'm saying? It's more grisly and gory and shit now, you know what I'm saying. It's like a fucking anime now, you know what I'm saying. So the people like me that doesn't really know anything about the Lord of the Rings, you know what I'm saying, I mean they seem like good movies, you know, the CGI still holds up, but I'm just never like, it never interests me to where I'm like, okay, like I need to like sit down and rush to see it. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's not saying the movies are bad. It's just my taste and shit in movies. But I love the Shadow Mordor games, man, and Shadow War, the sequel. So if they would have got a show, you know what I'm saying, that would have just been like, okay, like it is more of a potential, you know what I'm saying, a probability that we will get to see another game. You know what I mean? So that's the perspective I'm looking at it, you know, with this acquisition, you know, and I said this many a times, like on record, you know what I'm saying, I have videos about like where it's like, oh bro, like I would love to see a lot of these games like now, like I don't think nobody can, you know what I'm saying, debate that. Like it's not even subjective. Like some of these games like rival, you know what I mean, Hollywood blockbuster movies, you know what I'm saying, with their scenes and writing and, you know what I'm saying, the set pieces and shit. Or even just the games that are just like fucking just bad at just that make you feel like a bad, like a i.e. Doom, The Dark Ages. I'm like, bro, like I would totally watch like a fucking adaptation of this shit, you know what I'm saying? And it won't have to be no live action shit. Not saying that that's bad, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm super excited for stoked to see Street Fighter 6. I mean Street Fighter the movie. You know what I'm saying? As well as Mortal Kombat, you know what I mean? The choreography in that looks fucking crazy too. I ain't gonna lie. A Street Fighter movie. Super excited to see that, you know, it seems so not grounded, but just like faithful to the video game, you know what I'm saying, the universe and shit, like very like video gamey and shit. I like that they didn't divert from that and try to make it so serious and shit. Like it just seems wacky. It's gonna be like an action comedy movie like that. I'm digging that. Andre's fucking the mayor, what is his name, I forget the dude's name, the mayor of Metropolis and shit, you know. It just seems like everything just works, you know. They're just like cosplaying. It just seems like everybody's just cosplaying as characters, and that's great, you know. Ryu, I'm not totally, you know what I'm saying, I'm not complaining. It's just if I did have a minor gripe, I would have want him to be more jacked, you know what I'm saying, Ryu and shit. Like when I think Ryu, I'm looking at Street Fighter 2 Ryu and Street Fighter Alpha Ryu and Street Fighter 6 Ryu, you know what I'm saying, where he's just fucking jacked, you know what I'm saying. Even though I love the actor that plays him, you know what I'm saying, I loved him in The Warrior. Definitely check that out. And not The Warriors, The Warrior. I think it's just called Warrior. It's like some gangs of New York shit, but like Chinese culture, you know what I'm saying? Yakuza shit. Like very, very dope. I haven't finished all the season, but season 1 was very fucking good. Fairly enjoyed. Definitely check it out. Pretty easy to find. If it's not on Netflix, it's definitely on one of the streaming services. But yeah, and also Netflix already kind of got this video game connection, you know what I'm saying, going on with the, you know what I'm saying, with their games with like Rockstar and shit, you know, like they got a couple, all of them, the definitive edition on there. Now Red Dead, you know, I love that, man. Just another quick story. I never actually told this to anybody, but I was supposed to, well, at least I never said it on wax, I should say. But, and it's not that I'm not gonna do it, but back at like 3 years ago, me and my cousin, we had this podcast going on. Like we had this and we're still gonna do it. It just never, you know what I'm saying, we shot a pilot episode for a mock test, you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna get in all of it and why I never seen the light of day. It's still, it's under construction and shit, you know what I'm saying. We just gonna say it like that, you know. Definitely gonna do it though, you know what I'm saying, but we just want to do it bigger, you know what I'm saying, like it just wasn't the time. But we did shoot a pilot episode, and I remember we set up the we did the it was at my house, in my garage, back when I was on the East Coast, living on the East Coast. We had the set in our garage, the cameras and shit. We did it all. I was very proud. Well, we all were proud, you know what I'm saying, the people that was attached to it, you know what I'm saying, like we was proud of what we built, you know. Somebody that's not like, I would never consider myself like the best handyman ever, you know what I'm saying, but like that kind of taught me how to build shit, you know what I'm saying. Like now I'm like, you know what I'm saying, like now like I built the desk that I got, you know what I'm saying, gaming on and shit. Anyways, I digress, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, we built the set. We were all proud of it. Put some posters there, you know what I'm saying, and we're just gonna talk about movies as well. It was basically, we pitched it as like it was like an academy for us, you know what I'm saying. to teach ourselves how to make movies, you know what I'm saying? Like our own film school, you know what I mean? Like I never went to film school. I did go to college, found out it wasn't for me. I went for business entertainment. I don't regret doing it, you know what I'm saying? Minus the student loans and shit like that. But I'm like, yo, I feel like I'm wasting my time and their time, most importantly, my time, I should say. I said that in reverse. But for what I learned, like it was, you know what I mean? Cool. Even though I'm a big believer, you don't need a degree in business. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just like all like instinct and psychology. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, go for it. Like I'm not gonna tell anybody. You know what I'm saying? But all I want to say is like, all I have to say about that is like, if you want to be a fucking doctor, like yeah, or be a surgeon, like yeah, like go to school. You know what I'm saying? But you don't need. Like, I don't think it's a required to learn that. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking people skills. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm making it sound easier than what it is, but like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the information is out there. You know what I'm saying? With books and you know what I'm saying? Like you just have to be a people person, you know what I'm saying? In all honesty, you know, some people might not agree, and it's no shade to like introverts, you know what I'm saying? Or people who have, you know, ailments or anything like, I mean, not ailments, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know, like people that are on the spectrum or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Even though we all suffer from a little or something, you know what I mean? So that like more so than ever, you know what I'm saying? This day and age was called mental afflictions and shit, but that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, for the people that are just not like, you know, I don't think, you know what I'm saying, like I don't want to make it seem like, oh, like you're just out of luck and shit like that, like if you don't have these attributes. But like you may, like, I'm not gonna lie, man, like you do have to have to like, you know what I'm saying, learn how to like talk. It's all like social aspect to it, you know what I'm saying, and instinct and all that, you know. But yeah, did that for a little bit, but I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying, dropped out. So I'm like, fuck it, like I'm gonna do what I want to do regardless, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna just teach. We just gonna teach. I was doing my own shit anyway, you know what I'm saying, with like skits and reviews and shit, just expressing my love for like movies and shit. On the gaming tip, I'll stream for a little bit, but I really start getting into like the gaming shit later on, you know what I'm saying, with like, you know, uploading shit on YouTube. But mainly it was like skits and like movie reviews and shit, you know what I'm saying. But that got monotonous to me. I feel like I did enough to like, I guess, you know, like build a resume, because now it's like more so than ever, like now we live in a day and age where our Instagram pages and YouTube, that's like the new LinkedIn and shit. Like you don't have to be on, you know what I'm saying, have the qualifications, credentials, you know what I'm saying, like blah blah blah, oh I went to school for this year. Now it's all more just about personable, you know what I'm saying, like just your the essence you bring into this shit, you know what I'm saying, like who you are as a person, you know what I'm saying. Again, I'm not discounting that. I'm not saying that it was a waste of time, like learning the things that I learned during going to business entertainment. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like that it wasn't shit that I didn't know. It just was just sharpening up, you know what I'm saying, just my skills and shit, you know what I mean. I don't even know where the fuck I was going with that. What the fuck am I even talking about at this point? We built, oh yeah, I remember, we built the set, you know what I'm saying, put the posters up and shit like that, put some Next, shot the pilot episode, and my cousin, I was supposed to, well, I'm not, we're still doing it. My cousin, some of the people that we shot it with, they're either no longer, you know, life, you know what I'm saying? People go their separate paths. There's no bad blood or anything, but, you know, the guy, that we was doing it with, he had, you know what I'm saying, he was more like the, builder, you know what I'm saying? He helped us a lot. I'm not going to take that away from him. Like, if it wasn't for him, like, a lot of it wouldn't have looked like the way how it looked, you know what I'm saying. All I did was like build the fucking couch and shit. Like he was kind of like the dude that kind of like, as well as I'm gonna say this too, like we was kind of like, I had the idea of like me and my cousin, like the idea of like building, you know what I'm saying, the posters, like the backdrop, like a mural, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, like we was real intentional how like, we wanted to make it look, you know, again like a mural, like we wanted to like bleed out and like, you know, kind of like match, you know what I'm saying, coordination between the movies and shit, you know what I'm saying, between colors and all that. Like it was dope. You know, but we're actually sitting in it, you know, in that energy, in that, you know what I'm saying, in podcast mode, you know, we don't know what the fuck we're doing, we're just doing it, but like it was great, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole fuck, it's shit that I'm missing out because, bro, like before it was in my set, you know what I'm saying? Before we went took it in my garage, we was doing it in my dad's garage, you know what I'm saying? Then some shit happened, you know what I'm saying? We had to move the shit out and put it, you know what I'm saying, go in our garage, on my garage. But yeah, we did some other shit with that too. We were supposed to have like we built like low key two sets, which was fucking crazy, you know what I'm saying? But it, you know, so it's like this big ass uphill battle. I failed to mention that. Damn, this shit dragging. We almost about to hit an hour mark. But yeah, just sitting in that energy was dope. But yeah, my cousin, like when we shot the pilot episode, I promise this is all gonna tie in. I was losing it, I didn't know, and I'm just right now. I ain't gonna lie, yo. For the longest, I was just I'm just talking. I didn't just fucking lost top. You know what I'm saying? Just all recreation. What the fuck I was even talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, where is this all leading to? But now, more I'm talking is coming. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah. The fucking we sitting there, right? So you know we in podcasting mode. None of us know what we're doing. I'm high as hell. You know what I'm saying? We integrating. You know what I'm saying? It's a film. You know what I'm saying? The shit was called The Green Screen Show. You know what I'm saying? Cannabis. You know what I'm saying? Cannabis. Friendly, you know what I'm saying, educational. That's how it was going to be treated. It was going to be a cross between that, you know what I'm saying, with cannabis, film, you know what I'm saying, and shit, you know what I mean, while all combining our own ideas. Me being, you know what I'm saying, well, I'm going to get to that, you know what I'm saying, well, you know, because we're all into different things, right, you know what I'm saying, it was supposed to be like some 3-0 shit, you know what I'm saying, like, all right, like, we all on some Avengers, like, you know, we all coming together, yeah, we all smoke weed and shit, you know what I'm saying, but we all into different things, you know? Like my cousin, he ain't a gamer. Like he likes it, you know what I'm saying? He's more like in the story aspect and shit of it. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, or into the sports games and shit, but he ain't like, you know what I mean? Like a weeb like me, like where it's just like I'm playing every fucking, you know what I'm saying, title, like, you know what I'm saying, new title. But he sat there and asked me, I don't even know how it came about. I think he was like, oh man, like, so what do you want out of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we're just shooting the shits, you know what I'm saying, just laughing, just like a mock test, like it's a pilot episode, you know what I'm saying, but it was fucking great from what I remember it. I wish I had the footage, but you know what I'm saying, I guess it was just, it's never was just meant, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I remember one of the questions him asking me, I'm high as hell too, I ain't gonna lie, I'm off of edible. You know what I'm saying, I ripped a bong, had 2 blunts, like I'm fucking zooted, bro, I'm done, like, you know what I'm saying. Higher than giraffe titties, giraffe pussy. But I do remember, you know, so because the rest is, you know, the rest is a blur. But what I do remember is that he asked me that, you know, say like, what do you want out of this? Like, what do you want to do? And I remember telling him like, yo, like I wanna, you know, say I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm like, I want to bridge the gap. Like, I don't want no separation between the gaming media and movies, you know what I'm saying? While that's always been like, you know what I'm saying, a thing, but like, you know, if you look back 10-15 years ago, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, being that it was new and shit, like a lot of movies, this might have to do like a part 2, I'm not sure, they weren't, you know what I'm saying, they were like flops, like excluding like the you know what I'm saying, I will stand by it, you know what I'm saying, I'll die on the hill for that shit, like Silent Hill, the first movie, like for what it is, like while it's not a you know what I'm saying, beat for beat, like, you know what I'm saying, faithful adaptation is fucking amazing, you know what I'm saying, the first Silent Hill movie in 2006, as well as the Hitman movie, you know what I'm saying, the first one, I never seen the second one, Code 40, whatever the fuck it was called, but the first one was dope, the first Hitman movie, so I remember telling him that, and, you know, I remember looking at me, you know what I'm saying, we all high as hell and shit. And he's like, nah, man, like, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm just paraphrasing it. I think I went on this long-ass high tangent and shit, and I probably said some other shit that I forgot. But he's like, yeah, that's dope. But it's crazy how that was 3 years ago, but, like, now I'm actually seeing this shit play out in real time before my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I thought I'll be the one, you know what I'm saying, to like, you know what I mean? Again, I didn't know how I'm gonna fucking do it, you know what I'm saying? And again, I don't, but it's cool to see, you know, like, this is why it's so important to get your ideas out there, because one, you know what I'm saying? It's important because it's like you have to spark that inspiration between people. Because if you ain't gonna make it, there's got to be somebody else that has to. You know what I'm saying? Like we all benefiting from this shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I thought that was like wow, very ADHD and shit. Like it brought me back to that moment. You know what I'm saying? Seeing this in real time with like games and video games